Hello, everybody. Now we're live over here. I'm trying to go Instagram live as well from this platform of StreamYard, and I think that's happening. Oh, there we go. Yes, it's happening. Very good. Now we're live everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Ellen, welcome.
Everyone. Thank you. Max, welcome.
Thank you. What are we talking about today?
Awesome. So we've got Creating a Future with Video, a class that's happening on Wednesday, which I'm so excited about.
I'm also very excited about this, actually. I'm super excited about this Facebook Live, and thank you for joining me on this. Because I had like a lot of really cool awarenesses or things that we can talk about here today that I think are going to be very interesting to some people, to give some different perspective about video and what it creates and the future that it can create.
Awesome. So where did you come up with the title of the class? So this class is just video focused rather than...
Well, I mean, nothing is just one thing. I've noticed everything is connected. I love editing videos. So I've been creating videos with Access for over 10 years now. And then also for Shannon, my wife, she has an Access-based business. And then for myself, and then for other facilitators. And through that experience, I've only ever created videos for Access consciousness, basically. And I don't have a drive to do videos for anything else, really. It's like I'm really interested in Access consciousness and what that creates in the world, the possibilities, the invitation to something greater and different. And that has given me a really interesting perspective on like what's possible and what we're creating with video. And Access consciousness is totally about creating a future, and the awareness, it's not about creating a particular future, a specific future. It's about the recognition that we are creating a future with every choice that we make. All of us, we're creating the future all of the time with the choices that we make. So the thing I'm really excited to chat to you guys and to you, Ellen, about today is like this thing of, you know, video is everywhere in today's age, 2024. We all have a little smartphone that we can watch videos on. We have like 10 other devices we can watch videos on, and movies, and there's Netflix and Disney Plus, and like there is no YouTube, there is no shortage of content, right, of where we can watch stuff. And if you watch different content, you can get a sense of what is being created with that content. Some content can be very fear-based, like if you watch a lot of news and media and horror movies, and they're all about like activating fear in people's universe, which is fine, that's one choice. And then there's things like romantic comedies, they're like activating these other things. So in Access, we talk about something called emotional POVADs, emotional points of views you're avoiding and defending. I know it's getting a little bit specific, but what I noticed is that there's a lot of videos and movies and stuff that are trying to activate particular things in people. Like whether they're like advertisements or, you know, promotional videos, that sort of stuff. They're looking to activate either a need in people or a lack or a, all sorts of different things, or fear as well, you know, like the fear of missing out, for example. Like you guys would have all experienced certain videos you watch and you go like, oh, fuck, I need that. It's like something you never even knew that existed, but then suddenly you think you're lacking it, you know, and that's something that video can create in your universe. And what I noticed when creating so many Access consciousness videos, it's completely different. Like I saw modern day marketing stuff where it's like, well, you have to give people the pain point and then you have to give them the solution to it and that sort of stuff. And that never works with an Access consciousness video because it's actually an invitation to something different. It's always people's choice. There's never about impelling them with something like, well, you should do that, or you're going to miss out on this, or you're going to, because of fear, therefore you should choose this. That is not Access consciousness and would never work if you're trying to promote Access consciousness using that sort of thing. So how do we do it with Access consciousness? The invitation of, which is the beauty. everybody has a different invitation to consciousness. Like you, Ellen, for example, I've seen your stuff on social media and out in the world, you know, like you being you out in the world. And you're a very particular sort of invitation to access consciousness bars, for example, which you facilitate. So you, and then you'll see another access bars facilitator, and their invitation is completely different. You're both inviting people to access consciousness bars, but the invitation and who you be is different. And that I find is the real gold with access consciousness, is we can all be the invitation. We can all utilize video, for example, and that's just one tool. There's so many different forms. Video is, some people might hate it, and you don't need to use it. It's just one option. But we all have these different ways of being the invitation, and video is one possibility of doing that. So if we're not targeting people's emotional POVADs and, you know, what they're going to lack and what they're going to miss out on, and or even like an emotional hype that makes people feel like something, like an electric something temporarily, and, you know, that's a great thing apparently, but it's not really. Like it's still impelling people towards a particular choice, but with an invitation, a true invitation that allows people to choose something or to not choose it. You're giving them this space of possibility, because they might have nothing else in their life that actually allows them the space to choose without a point of view. Like they can have it or not have it. Like there's very few things in the world that really invite people to that space. So with access, it's this really beautiful possibility. So how would you like to present that possibility to the world of what you're inviting people to, whether it's an access consciousness bars class, foundation class, or a free call, or a just an energy that you're aware of that's available in the world for people to choose. I think I could talk about this like forever, and
I love it. I love it. I bumped into quite a successful photographer that lives near me. And I was like, oh, how's work going? You know, they work for quite like big brands, you know, selling stuff. And he was like, yeah, it's really funny. Like, although I'm a photographer, all my work is video at the moment. You know, like, and even I noticed like some big brands, you know, selling, you know, trainers and stuff, they'll make a video to sell like something that they would normally, it would be like a photo normally. And I think like, can you talk about a lot more about like you can just convey so much with a video. So even if like as a bars facilitator, I noticed when I put like a little video of me just like doing a few bars points, I get that that's like such a contribution and quite different to like just taking a photo even.
It's different, and both can be super creative. Yeah. So it's interesting. A lot of people are going towards video probably because on social media and like it's more engaging for people, or like they sell more stuff or whatever it is. But I find both of them can be incredibly an invitation, right? Like a beautiful photo with some words on it, for example. I've seen a lot of these that the Access Consciousness social media team creates. Got some notifications coming in here. I'll turn that off. And it's literally like something that Gary Douglas or Dane here or a facilitator has said on like a photo that like really matches and is congruent with the energy of what that is. And I'll read it like several times to like get what that sentence or that quote is like saying. And yeah. And so that can be a huge invitation. It's like this different energy. It's like simple. It's like, here's this. With a video, it's like, I mean, with a photo too, but a video, it's different. It's like layers of different energy. Like when you add music, movement, words, and then the picture, obviously, of what, you know, what that is, it can be such a different, you can create so many different layers of energy. And if that's congruent, it can be very powerful. And I don't mean powerful in terms of, like I said beforehand, impelling people towards a particular thing. But what I love is like, what's really powerful for me is in the invitation to being. And if you watch a really great movie as well, like something that's a really great movie is, for me, and everybody has a different, you know, perspective, obviously, but it's where the actors and the character development and like the cinematography, the movie, like all of these people are putting something together and it's very congruent. It like all matches this particular story or energy that's getting brought across with the movie, and that can be incredibly powerful. But it's not, and usually it's more powerful when it's not impelling someone towards a particular thing. It's sort of like this open possibility, right? So when you watch someone or a movie with a great actor who's being a lot, they're inviting you to be more, essentially. For some people, it might just go to the emotional spectrum, like they feel a particular way. But if you're watching something and you're like, holy shit, this is like an inspiration to be more, that's like something that's really powerful and brilliant, I think.
Yeah,
and that's something that's possible with video.
I love that. You know, your idea of changing people's realities in the class description. Yeah. I love that.
And that's, I mean, that's something that I really got from Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, over so many years, because he talks about changing people's realities, and that even like money, for example, is really just there to change people's realities. Like, yes, it facilitates trade and, you know, a lot of functions, but what if money could be there to change people's realities? And video is that's what I love most about video and movies and all that sort of stuff, is that it can be that invitation to something, like I said, not a specific thing necessarily, but it like opens people to the possibilities that they know and aware of and can be.
Yeah. Amazing. So so this class is for complete beginners or people that do a lot of video work. So it's an invitation for everyone.
Yeah, and it's an introduction, but we're definitely going to delve into this thing of like the energies and creating with video, and what do you desire? Like the real question is, what do you desire to create? What is the energy that you want to invite people to? And then with video, how do you go about that? We're not going to go into practicalities of like an editing platform and like how to do that together on a platform, but we're going to talk about the different energies and like those elements that we can use in a video to create that. And by different elements, I mean like there's the music, and then you can have like interview footage with somebody. You can have B-roll, which is the stuff that A-roll is like the interview. It's like the backbone of a video, but B-roll is what adds to the video. It might be like a shot of someone's hands or some flowers or like different things that sort of add to what's being conveyed with the video. So all those sort of different elements, sound effects even, you know, can be very powerful too when they're added. Yeah.
I love that. And so often with like my personal Instagram account, I just like, I want to create a video, I just don't know where to start. Right. So just going through all these options, and I love that you say, you know, there's infinite possibilities of expressing yourself, and there's no right or wrong way.
Well, can I ask you something actually? Because I know that you help me with my social media stuff, and I know you do with other facilitators as well. So is there a difference between when you're creating for another facilitator and when you're creating for your Instagram account?
Yeah.
So what's that difference for you?
Yeah, it's so funny. I think with my Instagram account, I really want to get into doing more like just talking to the camera and like more speaking stuff, and I just haven't. Yeah. That's why I'm so excited for the call on Wednesday, because I think it's going to just open that up for me, really.
Cool. Yeah. No, it's really different, hey, when you're like talking on video. I'm the same. Like when I film stuff for other, like Shannon or Gary or Dane, Simone, being behind the camera is very different. It's like easy to sort of capture all the pieces and have this creative vision and put it all together and add all the bits. When I'm on the camera, I can get very controlling. sometimes I can be like, well, I want it to look like this and then like plan it ahead and then basically kill the creation before I've even like filmed anything. So that's going to be an interesting part of this class too, is getting into like, how do we have the least impediment to creation when we're doing video, especially when we're filming ourselves, because we can have so many excuses and ideas and so forth, even that like stop us from actually just creating something.
Mm.
And what I found is, what I end up doing is I will do much simpler stuff. When I make videos for myself, I will go super basic, because I know then I'll actually do it and get it out there, rather than like, what's the big vision with this video? And that's like one way that I work with that to make it a lot easier. Like sometimes I'll just shoot with my iPhone and use that footage, because it's just so much more accessible. Because if I start setting up my camera with audio and this and that and try and make it look like how I would an interview style with another facilitator, then by the time I get there, I would have like lost the energy of what I actually want to get out there.
Yeah, I love that. Just making it as easy as possible so that you can really be consistent.
Totally. And actually being honest with ourselves of, okay, where am I impeding actually creating this and getting this out? Like, what are the elements? Is it the technology? Is it some point of view? Is it time? Is it like, what are my excuses? And then once you've acknowledged that, then it's easier to work on those specific things, because you know that you're just making that an impediment to creating what you know is possible, and then going from there.
And would you agree, the more you do, the easier it gets? And just
definitely. It's such a practice thing. It's such a practice thing. And you also get clearer about what you want to invite people to. Like at the beginning, when someone's creating their first video, it might be so much of like, well, I know I should do this, you know, to get an invitation out there and to let people know about something that I'm doing or whatever it is. But you might not still be clear about what is the energy that you're inviting people to, or how do you convey that on video even. And then as you do it, you tend to get clear on like, okay, this, and more of like, what's the ease for you on video as well, if you're filming yourself, for example. Or if you're filming other things, like what are those elements that create the energy or convey the energy of what you'd like to get across with video.
I love that. And my life has completely changed from videos. Like that's how I discovered Access Consciousness, was on YouTube. You know, like it's just like, you know, stuff that you and Shannon and Dane have said on a video. You know, that's like literally changed my world in that moment.
Yeah, I've had that so much too with like watching videos of, I mean, interestingly too, editing videos, Access Consciousness videos, has been a huge facilitation for me as well. Because when you're cutting stuff, like you listen to it like over and over, because you're like sort of refining and going over it again. And like when I see a video, for example, the one on the accessconsciousness.com homepage, straight on there, like I created that maybe 5 years ago. And it's actually one of my favorite videos that I've created over time. But whenever I hear music like that, I know exactly which video it's from that I've created, because I've listened to it so many times with the content of the video, and it like becomes ingrained. Anyways, so it's been one of the greatest facilitations, because the stuff that Gary and Dane, Simone, Shannon say on these videos can be so changing, and I won't even get it the first time, like when I'm doing the interview, or the first 3-4 times I'm going through it on the footage, but then afterwards I'll be like, wow. Like it changes me as I actually edit those videos. And that's such a huge gift as well. Yeah, there's so many like, so many dimensions of the gift that can be possible with videos. And I've seen other Access facilitators create videos that are also like amazing, like super simple, but like incredible, and such an invitation to what's possible. Yeah, because it really actually isn't, if we're on video, it really isn't about us. It's about inviting people to possibilities, which with a question allows them to discover what that is for them. because as you know, like the tagline of Access Consciousness is empowering people to know that they know. It's not empowering people to know how cool you are as a facilitator. It's empowering people to know that they know. And that's what's inspired me so much, is like being empowered to know what I know, and not trying to find some right way or correct way or something that like fits into what you already know. Yeah, it's really about something different.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting, hey, like we're talking about video in one sense, but then the future aspect, like it goes so big. Video is like just an element of this whole conversation. But in this case, it's going to be like a highlighted element in this class.
I'm just getting the sense of what a contribution, like, yeah, this can be. And yes.
Yeah.
It's so funny that I've just completely been putting off like creating in this way. Yeah, what else is possible? And
yeah,
what invitation can we be through videos? So cool.
Totally. And what can we receive too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Facilitating access consciousness, which can take so many different forms. It doesn't necessarily mean you're facilitating classes or something like that, but facilitating access consciousness is such a, like, it's oftentimes you need to stretch yourself, like whether it's a perceiving element, a receiving element, a being, or a knowing, like there's these points, and sometimes it is when we're creating video, like we really got to stretch what we're willing to be and receive so far to have what we're looking to create. So it really facilitates us as well, like this whole process of becoming more and having more, and yeah, having more of a sense too of like what we desire to have and be, and what's possible.
Wow.
Really, yeah. I didn't realize until this morning how excited I was about this particular topic and this class on Wednesday, because it stems from the Video Basics series, like a 4-part call that I've facilitated like a number of times online, which is like being on video. That's one element. Like how to create the videos as well, like the actual editing and the actual shooting, and then also examples. And so people have sort of like the whole process. So this is like one of those elements we're putting into focus with this. It's like that future element of creating video. And what I'm finding it's really difficult to define the future you're creating with it. It's something you have to be willing to know, because with all of the videos that I've created with and for Access Consciousness, I can't really tell what that future is that I'm creating, but I know that when I'm creating them and when I'm rewatching the videos again at a later stage, I'm like, oh, like I get either chills up my spine. Sometimes I'll like cry, or, you know, it like stimulates this possibility that I know is, but I don't know what that future looks like that's being created. So I can't, like, you can't really define the future. You can't be like, well, this is the future I want to create, therefore this video is going to create it. That's sort of like doing conclusion to try and create a predetermined result, and it doesn't work like that. But when you follow the energy and of like the possibilities and what creates this sort of excitement, enthusiasm, and openness in your world, for me, that's more of the future that I would like to have. So I know that when that energy is available, then, you know, that is the direction. That is the correct direction. Sometimes I've noticed when editing videos, it's like a stop. It's like, I don't know where to go. I don't know like what's next to like finalize the video or to actually keep going with it. And then asking questions and including other people and being like, okay, who or what is required here to like move the energy? And then I'll like talk to someone for 5 minutes, someone else, and be like, oh, now it's totally opened up again. So it's this engaging with it, because it's like it is a being. Like when you're creating it, it is becoming like an entity that you're creating. So if you communicate it with it and be with it, then you discover what it wants to be as well, and what it can be.
Wow, I love that.
So we've got actually, it's quite a long comment, but I'll put it up there anyway, from Mario. When I started with photography and video, I did it for fun, really, and it took so many turns and had so many projects and really enjoyed it. But I guess what flipped for me was the moment I chose to make it my main career/business without having the awareness that it already is, so that I guess took the fun as I was just pushing for more. I think that's a really cool awareness. I mean, it's not a question, but it's a really cool awareness of, yeah, what we can do with these creative endeavors, videos being and photos being like one of those elements, and then how we can crush it when we try and define it or confine it into a particular, like, this is what this is, and it's going to make me money, it's going to I've done this a lot as well. Rather than for the possibilities, or like, what are you creating video for? Or what are you shooting photos for? Like, what is the real inspiration and the, yeah, what's the joy for you in that? Without the definition, without the, yeah, without adding, like Mario's saying now, like without boxing it up, without defining it into what it has to be. Yeah. Because when we do that with a creation of ours, we're doing it to ourselves as well. But if we allow things to be freer and move and change and evolve, then we can evolve with that as well and be with that creation that is changing and moving, which is far more fun for humanoids. Humanoids being people that look like they're human, but they're not really. They're like different.
I love that.
I'm actually not drinking wine, by the way. This is tea, but it's in a wine glass.
I love it. Oh, this is so exciting. Thank you, Max.
Cool. Thank you, Ellen. Always love having a chat with you. I know I've been doing like a lot of the talking, and
no, I love it. Thank you.
But having you there and your energy and stuff is like so amazing. So I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you. I'm so excited for Wednesday. What else is possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch the space.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So I think we might leave it there, hey, for this live.
Brilliant. Great. Cool. I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put it in the post.
Yep. Cool. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you. Thanks, Max.
You guys,
bye, everyone.
You guys, yeah.